Okay, let's talk about the smartest way to invest your money. Today, we are going to build a clear step-by-step plan that's going to take you from feeling kind of uncertain about your finances to being in total control. We're going to outline the exact sequence to get you the best returns while keeping your risk as low as possible.
You've seen this, right? People just pouring money into whatever the hot new stock is, treating the market like it's a Vegas slot machine. And all the while, they've got this high-interest credit card debt that's just quietly eating them alive. It's such a common mistake, and honestly, it's pretty costly. That's exactly the kind of pitfall we're here to help you avoid.
Trying to invest before you have a solid financial foundation, it's just like trying to fill a bucket that's got massive holes in it. You can keep pouring water in, you're putting in all this effort, but the bucket never gets full. So today, we're going to patch those holes, one by one, so that your wealth can actually start to grow. Let's get into it. So here's our game plan. We're going to build your financial house from the ground up in the right order. We'll start with that solid foundation, then we'll lock in some guaranteed returns, move into some really smart tax strategies, and finally, we'll talk about investing beyond the basics.
All right, let's lay that first stone. Before a single dollar gets invested anywhere, we need to build a safety net. This is for your finances, but it's also for your peace of mind. Without this, any wealth you build is sitting on a foundation of quicksand, and it's just ready to collapse the moment something goes wrong.
So first up is the emergency fund. And get this, there's some fascinating data from Vanguard on this. Just having $2,000 saved up boosts a person's financial well-being by 21%. Think about that. It's the biggest psychological jump you get from any single financial move. This isn't about getting rich quick. It's about that incredible peace of mind that comes from knowing you have a buffer.
Okay, once you have that small cash buffer, it is time to drop some serious weight. We're talking about that nasty high-interest debt. With average credit card rates over 22%, that debt is basically a financial cancer. Its growth is going to outpace almost any investment return you could possibly hope for, pretty much wiping out any gains you make.
And here's the absolute most efficient way to get rid of it. Think about it this way. Paying off a debt with a 22% interest rate is the same as earning a guaranteed 22% return on your money. No stock, no bond, no fund on earth can promise you that. This method, the debt avalanche, is mathematically the fastest way to get out of debt and save the most money on interest. Period.
Now we get to the one, and I mean the one big exception to that pay off all your debt first rule. This is a moment where it makes perfect sense to invest, even if you still have some debt. Because if you don't, you are literally walking away from free money.
Let's be perfectly clear on what this is. An employer match is not some gift or random bonus. It's part of your total compensation package. It's money you've already earned that you can only unlock by putting money into your retirement plan, like a 401k.
And here's the bottom line. There is no other investment that offers this kind of guaranteed instant return. If your employer matches dollar for dollar, that's 100% return the second you put the money in. Your absolute first priority always should be to contribute just enough to get every single penny of that match.
Okay, so your foundation is secure, you've claimed your full employer match, now we get to the acceleration phase. This is where we make strategic moves that can seriously supercharge your wealth building by legally protecting your money from taxes. It's a step a lot of people miss, but wow, it makes a huge difference.
Think of these accounts like special tools the government gives you to encourage you to save. Their superpower is that they let your money grow and compound year after year without getting hit by taxes every single year. That tax drag can really slow you down, and these accounts help you avoid it.
So, right after you've gotten your employer match, the very next stop for your investment dollars is an IRA, an individual retirement account. Why? Well, it comes down to control and costs. A lot of company 401k plans have really limited investment options and high fees that act like termites, just silently eating away at your returns. An IRA gives you the freedom to pick from thousands of low-cost funds, which means more of your money keeps working for you.
And for 2025, that's the number. That's your target. The goal is to max out your IRA contribution. Only after you've hit this limit do you then circle back and start putting more money into your 401k.
Okay, so now we've arrived at a really critical choice you have to make with these retirement accounts. And the decision you make here, traditional versus Roth, could literally be worth tens or even hundreds of thousands of dollars in tax savings over your lifetime. No pressure.
It all comes down to this one simple question. Your answer is going to point you towards either a traditional account or a Roth account. It sounds pretty straightforward, but the implications are huge. So let's break down exactly what this choice means for you. This right here perfectly sums up the trade-off.
With a traditional account, you get an immediate tax deduction, which lowers your taxable income today. Pretty nice. With a Roth, you pay taxes on the money before it goes in, but in exchange, all of your future growth and every penny you take out in retirement is completely 100% tax-free.
So how do you pick? Well, here's a pretty simple rule of thumb. If you're earlier in your career and you expect your income and, by extension, your tax bracket to go up in the future, the Roth is probably your best bet. You pay the taxes now while your rate is lower. But if you're a high earner in your peak years, a traditional account can give you a really valuable tax break today. And hey, if you're just not sure, you can split it. That gives you some great tax flexibility later on.
Now, let's talk about what might just be the most powerful and definitely the most overlooked investment account out there, the Health Savings Account, or HSA. If you have access to one through your health plan, it's like the Swiss Army knife of investing. It's this incredibly versatile tool with some amazing benefits.
This is the only account that exists that gives you a triple tax advantage. Let me say that again. Your contributions are tax deductible. Your investments grow completely tax-free, and then your withdrawals are also tax-free, as long as you use them for medical expenses. It is an unbelievably powerful way to save for one of the biggest expenses in life, healthcare.
So let's do a quick recap of the order here. You've got your employer match, you've maxed out your IRA, you've maxed out your HSA. Now is when you go back to your 401k and you contribute as much as you possibly can, up to that annual limit. It's only when all of those tax-advantaged options are full that we move on to the final layer.
And this chart shows you exactly why we follow that order. When you invest in a regular taxable brokerage account, you get hit with something called tax drag. It means you're paying taxes on dividends and capital gains every year, and that slows down your compounding. And as you can see in this example, over 30 years, that drag can cost you nearly $250,000 in growth. It's huge. So here it is, the final blueprint. This is the sequence. By following these steps, in this exact order, you're making sure that you're building wealth in the smartest, most efficient way possible. You're locking in guarantees, you're minimizing your risk, and you're maximizing your tax advantages every single step of the way.
Look, by following this plan, you've done the essential foundational work first. You've built your financial house on solid rock. Now, the really exciting part begins. The question is no longer if you can build wealth, but what are you going to choose to build on top of this powerful foundation you've created? Your future self is already